have mastered whatever we're working on, then it becomes adab and you become adib. All right? All right. Let's make sure we got a few more minutes. I'm sure the brother forgot his clock. All right. So now, the Quran is to be read the same way we make the prayers. Thank you, brother. I was going to do it, but I said I would do it one time after I drop everything. Then we'll have to be over one time. Thank you. All right. The Quran and prayer are one and the same process, except the prayer is specified as such and Quranic reading is specified as such, but as reading as opposed to salah. Okay. But we have to make our intentions for both. We should be in the same condition for both. We should be in a state of wudu. We should make our intentions, whether it's salat or whether it's Quranic reading. And the Quranic reading is not, you know the word ikra. And so now you've gone with that. You think that's the only word for reading. Now the Quran, when the Quran refers to reading it, it doesn't refer to it as ikra. That was given to the prophet. We're told, talawa, read the 121st verse of the second surah. That's where you will find it. Those who study the Quran as it should be studied. And that word, because that word talawa means something other than just reading words, all right? It means follow it. You know, you're going to follow it because talu means to follow, okay? Tulu means to follow. And so talawa is reading. So read again, I repeat that to you, the second chapter and 121st verse, where it refers to us, letting you know that if you just been skating along, you haven't been reading it as you should be reading it. It says who studied, they translate it, say who studied the Quran as it should be studied. And both studying and as it should be studied are both derived from the same word, talawa, tulun, all right? Both of them derived from the condition that you will be in and the process, both, all right? So, wudu, or you make your intentions to make wudu, all right? Then you make the wudu and you make your intentions to read the Quran. You should be in a state of wudu. You should be sitting in a proper manner. I mean, not slouchy, upright form. Sitting down, facing the Kaaba, with your intentions to read for what purpose? For Allah's pleasure, to please Allah. We're reading just like we're making the prayer to please Allah. We're also reading to please Allah. All right, and then the Quran has places in it where we're supposed to make sajda. That's what I wanted to cover today. There are 14 places that are universally accepted as places to make sajda. And then there's a 15th one that I believe is, trying to remember, Imam Shafi'i said, and he and his group, those who have followed him, they also make sajda, and I do too, even though I'm not necessarily. But first of all, that particular ayah, which is the 22nd chapter and the 77th verse, that's where it is, the one that's Shafi'i. 27th chapter, 22nd, that's the 22nd chapter, Hajj, the 22nd chapter and the 77th verse, in case I may have said it wrong. 22nd chapter, and you know, was in Surah Al-Hajj. We have two places to make sajda, okay? And one of them is one is 22, what is it, 22:18. I put these numbers up here in Arabic. You might as well start trying, all right? All right, this is 22, that's 18, okay? This is 7, and that's 206, which is also the last ayah in chapter 7. 7206. This is 13:15. 13th chapter, 15th verse. That's 15. That's not 10. That's 15. All right. This is the 16th chapter and the 50th verse. That's your zero right there, the dot, the 50th verse. This is the 17th chapter and the 109th verse. This is the 19th chapter, the 58th verse. And this is the 22nd chapter and the 18th verse. And you should just practice. It won't take long. You only got 10 symbols to know. And then they rearrange them to make other numbers, but they're only 10 symbols, just like you have in English, in what we call English. When I was in school, I had no idea where India or Pakistan or anything. But when I was a little boy in school and still out in the country, they told us that these were the Indo-Arabic numbers, and that didn't mean nothing to me. They don't even acknowledge it now. You got to research to find out that the numbering system that we use today, the decimal system, comes from the Muslims that were in India. So they call it the Indo-Arabic numeric system. If you Google it, and we don't have any problems. You should be so smart now. You just oozing off of you. Because all you have to do is Google it. Whatever you want to do, and I say, well, I would look it up if I had some. You don't even have to type it. Well, my finger's so big I can't type. Just talk. Okay, Google, and tell Google what you want it to do.
That's right.
I'm telling you, we don't have no issue. It will even bring you up information about the Quran.
That's right.
It'll bring you information about the Arabic language. I have tried it. I don't have a book for it. You got your phone. You got two phones. Most of y'all just had one until you wanted to make friends with overseas, so then you had to get an iPhone. You walk around here like me with those Androids, and then Rashid told you want to rub shoulders with me, you got to have an iPhone. So now you got two phones. All right. Okay. So those are the 14 places, and then let me write the 15th one up here that I mentioned. This is 15, and that is 22. See, a 22 looks like a 7 backwards. A 7 forward is a 6. I don't know what you notice that we had it over here somewhere. I know. The 12. Yeah, 60. That's let me reverse it. 62. 12. That's the 53rd chapter, the 62nd verse. Okay. The 7 turn backwards is a 2, and the 7 turn forward is a 6. Okay. So I said it's 2277. Some of them say, well, I never did get the Roman number down. Now you're going to start using them all over again and call them something else. Well, forget about the Roman numbers. You don't have to worry about them, all right? All right. So those are the places where we make sajda. And some of us are so naive till I remember once, this was in the 90s. We had a little center over on 159th Street. And the local imams had chosen to meet over there. And they asked me to lead the prayer. It was the Isha prayer, I think after we were closed out. Anyway, I recited from Surah Alaq. Surah Alaq, which is the 96th chapter. All right, Surah Alaq. And at the end, the last ayat there is sajda. So I went from sajda, I went from qiyam straight to sajda. You know that these were imams. Do you know that they didn't follow me? They didn't follow me. And not only did they not follow me, but then they told on me. And a brother named John Ramadan came back the next meeting and said the imam said Agin was right. They didn't have enough gall to confront me, but just didn't follow. Don't you know that when you make your intentions to follow someone in prayer, unless they do something crazy like cartwheels or something like that, you're supposed to follow them. Even if they make a mistake, you're to tell them that they made. If you know they made a mistake, subhanallah. But if you don't follow, then you still are to follow them on in prayer, because that's what your intention was. And then you corrected him when he made a mistake, whether it was in posture or whether it was in words. You also to correct him if he made the wrong words. But I did find some satisfaction in that, because one of these tapes I was listening to, and some of the people were students of the Imam, so they were messing up their Fatiha so bad, and the Imam didn't say anything. I said, well, I guess I can shut my mouth sometime too. But we are in a learning process. And now when it's a more formal occasion, if the Imam skips an ayat or makes a mistake, and you know what it is, it's obligatory upon you to say, Subhanallah. And hopefully he will heed it and recognize, because most of the time when someone calls it, he realizes, because all of our minds slip. There are certain, I know for my little vocabulary, my little repertoire of the Quran, the little bit that I know, sometimes one word will be in more than one ayat, and when I recite it, it'll cause me to switch surahs. Why? Because I'm not focused like I should be. I'm not. If we should be focused so that we're concerned about what we're saying, but it has happened to me, and I imagine it's happened to some of the others of you also, where that word switched you from one chapter all the way to another chapter, and then when you realize, I'm in the wrong chapter. Now some of us may not even correct ourselves, but when you recognize that you have made a mistake, you should correct yourself if nobody else sees it. And if it's nothing other than when you get through with reciting for that prayer, at the end of the prayer after you've recited the all the way through the Salatul Ibrahim, then you're to make salam to the right only. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and then make 2 extra sajdas, and then go back and recite all the way through the Salatul Ibrahim again, and then make taslim from both sides. Yes, ma'am.
So, would you explain when you were reciting an ayat, and at that point, it was one of the ayats after which you should prostrate? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, right.
So
right.
That was why you did the prostration.
Yes. Right, and that particular one, as I said, was the end. That one is the last ayat in that chapter. It's the last ayat, the 96th chapter. So what you have an option. You make the second one, and then you stand back up, and you can then go through and make ruku, or you can recite some more Quran and then make sajda, but don't recite the Al-Fatiha over again. Just go back and just go on and recite some more Quran. Usually if you do so, then it will be what follows that particular ayah. So usually when I do that, I'll recite Surah Qadr, Laylatul Qadr. I recite that because it comes after the chapter. It's the 97th chapter, and then make ruku and go on. So it will appear as if you have made 3 rak'ahs because you've gone to the floor an extra time, but actually you made the sajda for the recitation in the Quran. Okay, and we also to make that recitation. Make that observation as far as sajda, the plural for sajda, sujood. We're to do that when we're reading. That's why I wanted to bring that to your attention. And inshallah, next week we will go on. Next month we'll go on with some other things that we need to know about reading during the month of Ramadan. But keep in mind, and this is an announcement that I wanted to make, that when we come back, that will be the first Sunday in Ramadan. It will be the first, actually, because we will use, inshallah, we want to use the next 2 first Sundays to continue with the adab. And then when we come back, we're going to follow a little different. I was trying to give you a vocabulary, help you build vocabulary, but it was in a manner where you had to wait to see what I was going to do next. So what we're going to do now is I encourage you to get this dictionary, regardless of what other dictionary you have, get this one. They have it on sale here. I'm pretty sure they have it out there on the table right now. If not, they'll get them, all right? So that you can follow me and you will know where I'm. See, where I've been giving you vocabulary words is I'll pick a surah, and it'll be one of my favorite surahs. You don't know where I'm going to come from. This way you'll know where we are, because we're going to go. This book is divided into parts. It's got an index for Quranic root words, an index for Quranic words, and an index for the and a dictionary definition of the words. And we should never be satisfied with one definition in English, because one definition is not going to be. And plus, whoever defines it is going to define it based on his intellectual repertoire. And he has not had the experiences that we have had. So one of them is never going to be satisfactory for us. But you know, Allah will bless us. He will bless you to see into it once you start trying. He will bless you to see into it that which would be most suitable for our situation. But no translator is going to give you a perfect translation in English. There's no such thing, which is what I just read you with the email. There's no such thing as a perfect English translation. But we can get translations that are more suitable for our situation based on our experiences as opposed to someone who can barely speak English. If he can barely speak English, how are you going to give you the best definition for English? He can barely speak it. He's just doing the best he can. All right. So get this dictionary, and when you get it, it's got a page in there that tells you how to use it. Because people get confused. It tells you how to use it. And so what it has, like as I said, it has an index of Quranic root words. That's going to be the first. Well, first of all, it has these. I say skip that part where it says quick guide to the equivalent, English equivalents. And the reason why, because as soon as you look at them, you're going to see what is the DZ in English. So they have that for one letter, DZ. They have a Z for other than the Z. They have it for the. They have a Z for a TH sound. They use a Z with a mark under it.